What's happening, YouTube? Back in the day gamer here. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and today I'm coming at you with another product review. This is the last one, I promise. Until something else cool comes out that I feel I need to buy and make a video about to justify spending more money. But for now, this is the last one. What we're talking about today is the Super Retro-Cade by Retro-Bit. So essentially this thing's kind of like a NES Mini or an NES Classic. It's a tiny little thing. It's got built-in games. It's got about 90 built-in games. But the difference is these games, for the most part, are exact arcade ports. It's not like the NES version of Double Dragon where it's not even close to the same game, not nearly as cool. These, for the most part, are exact arcade replicas. And yes, it has Double Dragon. It has many others. Let's stop talking about it and let's play. So when you turn this thing on, you've got a list here of all the games that are available for you to play. Most of them are exact arcade ports. Some of them are like the NES version. But let's start with Double Dragon. When you click on it, you get a little screen with your controller layout. You actually have to hit a button to insert quarters because it's an arcade. Let's take a quick look at this iconic scene from one of the best original beat-em-ups ever. Double Dragon arcade port. Now, this is an exact arcade port, and it's badass. Unfortunately, it's plagued with the same slowdown that the arcade is when you have too many characters on the screen. But, since the goal is to beat up and kill all those characters, get them out of the way so there's not so many and there won't be slowdown. Now, the big giant green Abobo is always one of my favorite things. Big Incredible Hulk fan. So always love this part. Make sure I put it in here for you. So in the start of Mission 4, first thing I really like is that this brick wall that is sometimes nearly impassable and completely unfair on the NES version is no problem here. Only got hit once. Really like the graphics. Here's where the problem comes in. So I beat this guy. You go into one of the holes to progress, right? It's not letting me. No matter what I do, can't go into the holes. You can't go forward to the right. You can go a little bit back to the left. That's it. So here's where this thing has its first of a few problems I've encountered. So I ended up having to kill myself. So that was no good. So I had to stop playing. One of the reasons why I bought this system to move on to another game. There's plenty of other games though, so let's give some of them a shot. I'm not going to list them all, but you can see here for yourself. You know, you can pull up a list of tiles. It doesn't matter because you need to buy this thing. So go ahead and pick yourself one up and you can figure them all out. But the main reason that I did buy this right here, Holy Diver. A game that only came out on the Famicom and never made it here stateside for many reasons. I'm sure trademarking and religious symbols and whatnot that didn't go over for the NES in America. I like this game a lot. The graphics are great. It is, however, super hard. I had almost purchased a reproduction cart because I wanted it so bad, and then lo and behold, the Super Retro-Cade came out, and it's on it. Definitely like this game. Glad I didn't pay the top dollar for it, because like I said, it is super hard, but it's really cool. Graphics are great, controls are good. I like this boss here. He's a pretty crazy looking enemy. The game itself is a lot of fun. If it were a touch easier, it would be even more fun. Moving on from Holy Diver is a game by Data East called Bogey Wings. This is something I heard a tuber I like to watch called The Benevolent Dick talk about. He really likes this game. Absolutely never heard of it before, but it's crazy. There's so much action in this game. You start off flying an airplane. It's got this hook. You can use the hook to pick up things like tanks and automobiles and whatnot and slam them around, just destroying everything on the screen. There's a lot of action. Crazy game. It's got this kick-ass Christmas board. All kinds of Christmas tones. You got snowman and banners and Santa Claus stuff. It's obviously snowing. Santa Claus himself. This part's great, you know, you're not in the plane anymore, so you're running around on foot, then you jump on a motorcycle. Here, you know, you get on a horse. Lot of options in this game, and it is also filled with a lot of action. Definitely give this one a try. It's a ton of fun. So, back in the day, in your arcades, there were tons and tons of hack and slashes. One of the best right here is a beautiful port, none other than Knights of the Round. Yes, of course, you know this game, you've played it many times, and now you're going to enjoy playing it at home on your Super Retro-Cade. No need to go to the arcade or emulate, because this is an exact version. I actually have a multi-cade out in my den, and this is one of the games on it that I really love to play. Next game we're going to play is a classic beat-em-up, Vigilante. Now, I remember playing this game in the arcade at the bowling alley by my house back in the day. Really loved it, and I still like it now. Didn't hold up as well as a lot of games, but it's still definitely fun, and I'm glad they included it on this plug and play. So here's another solid hack and slash. It's not quite as good as Knights of the Round, but it has a little more to offer than that game does. I do, however, prefer Knights of the Round, but this is still a solid game and a good inclusion on the console. So let's give this Wizard Fire a shot. It's a Dungeons & Dragons-like hack and slash game that I really like. It's probably even better than Knights of the Round. That game's a lot more well known, but the graphics on this game are just phenomenal. Super like it. You're always fighting some kind of medieval mythical creatures here. So another title on this console that I had never heard of before is this one right here, Legend of Hero Tanma. No idea, never heard of it, but I definitely want to include it because I like this game a lot. It definitely reminds me of the Willow arcade game, which I've been hankering to play because I never have since way back in the day. And from what I'm hearing, it's really easy to add other games onto this console. Like, all you have to do is throw them on an SD card and plug the SD card into the back of the console. Now, back in the day gamer doesn't really roll like that, but feeling like maybe I'm gonna need to, because I'm dying to play me some arcade Willow. And aside from buying the cabinet, not seeing another way. But anyway, this game here, really cool, nice graphics, good controls, but here's where I've found another glitch in the game. Okay, as before in the Double Dragon where I got stuck and couldn't progress any farther, this boss battle here, which is the first one of the game, no matter what I did, I couldn't beat this guy. I mean, this is a little snippet of it here. You know, you can see sometimes you're hitting him and it's actually hurting him because he blinks. But I played this boss battle right here for a solid 5 minutes and couldn't get any headway. So I'm thinking there must be another glitch here because, like I said, it's the first board. I didn't miss anything and I can't get past it. So that's leaving a bad taste in my mouth. But there are more games to play that do not leave a bad taste in your mouth, like Final Fight. It has Final Fight 1, 2, and 3 on the system, but I find 1 by far the best. Now, I used to play this on the arcade back in the day at a different bowling alley over by my house, and probably countless other places, but I can specifically remember playing this at the bowling alley. And it's just as much fun now as it was then. This game held up fantastically, and I really look forward to having somebody over and doing some co-op. So, aside from these handful of games, you know, there's a total of 90-something on here. The fact that you can easily add basically any other game that you want in itself would be a big plus for buying this. But if you didn't do that and only play the handful of games that I've showed you here, that's well worth $60. So, does Back in the Day Gamer recommend you get the Super Retro-Cade? Yes, he does. It's obviously not without its faults. I like the controllers myself. I have heard people say they felt cheap and they didn't like them. I like the controllers a lot. So this console is not perfect. There were those two large problems I had, especially with being able to progress no farther on Double Dragon, which didn't please me at all, because aside from Holy Diver, that was pretty much the reason why I picked this up. But the two problems that I had with it are easily forgiven due to all the other games and hours of fun I'm going to have. So does Back in the Day Gamer recommend you get yourself a Super Retro-Cade? Absolutely. $60 for 90 plus games. Even if half of them don't work, a handful of them alone are worth having this thing. Plus, don't forget, supposedly you can add on virtually any game you want by putting it onto an SD card and simply plugging it into the back of the Super Retro-Cade. So, yes, you're getting 2 thumbs up. Can't see it, but I'm giving you 2 thumbs up right now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. You definitely should order yourself a Super Retro-Cade. $60. Said it before, I'll say it again. Get yourself one of these things and have some fun. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, YouTube, keep it retro!